Welcome back to the Hunter Call of the Wild. Now today we are planning on doing something a little bit different, a little bit out of the ordinary, but something that still has to be done. We are going after the wild haggis. Now, hopefully this will be good results, but we haven't done any story missions or anything like that. So I know that possibly has something to do with it. So we're going to be going through the missions on Tornasheen, Scotland, the most recent map, as well as, trying to find the haggis, and maybe he will show up, and maybe we'll just find some rares or something cool in the meantime. Either way, it should be a good time. We're glad to have you guys here, and hopefully we get a reason to end the video in the trophy lodge. You never know, but we'll see. So I've got a couple of housekeeping things to take care of, and then we will get into the stream. Alright, let's go ahead and change the time. We'll bring the time down a little bit because it's 11:30. Is the bed in this place way up top? We'll make it a nice brisk 6:30 in the morning. We are going to be running with the 300 canning mag, the 257, 22, and 12 gauge today for any trophies we may find along the way, or haggises as well. But like I said, we haven't done any of the story missions. We've got a couple. We have one side mission, which is literally just spot a bunch of animals. Let's see, we have one of those side missions. Hey, welcome in, Leon. But we literally haven't even done the first story mission, which is at this outpost. So we're going to start by heading there and just kind of seeing what happens. Hopefully we find something cool while wandering around the map and doing these missions. I've been good. How about yourself? What do we got down there? Mink in the water? Ooh, awesome. That's what we're talking about. Why so awesome? That is a mink. Likelihood of us hitting him is not high. No. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. What species were you doing? You were doing fallow deer, weren't you? We'll see what these pheasants are doing up here. Nice. That's a decent amount of kills. So you were definitely into it a little bit. What rack did you get? I don't even know if that was a rooster. That very well could have been a hen. It was a hen. Oops. Oh well. Spin with silver. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it was about time you got a different rack, that's for sure. But at least you did get it, so that's awesome. So now are you going to keep going after fallow, or are you going to go after a different great one now? Alright, well here appears to be our first mission.
You should be able to spot Kaishel and Ellen from where you're standing. Which is where you'll be heading for your first taste of what you'll be hunting. And more importantly, our hospitality.
Alright, where's the rooster at?
Haggis, the most elusive quarry of the Highland hunter. A majestic beast, found only here in Scotland. Typically, one leg is longer than the other, to aid them in scampering round mountains. Which makes breeding a challenge, so they requisition the help of an opportune hillock. Regardless, in just a few days, you'll join the ranks of the truly legendary. But first, all you need to join is us for dinner.
Yeah, I could definitely see Leviathan popping in pretty soon. That would be nice. Ooh, that was a nice one. 1794. Female.
Hello.
And then another female.
Reckon you could take a few snaps for the site. They don't have to be good. They just have to be. So no worries if you shoot 40s like you shoot your haggis.
Alright, so that is our first mission. Part down, so now we have to visit the main lodge. We're going to try not to fast travel when the mission is to like go to the lodge or something like that. If we have it, just because we want to be able to hunt our way in between them. So I'm actually going to go straight down to the river and then head up and see what we see along the way. Hey, what's up, AJ? Welcome in. Glad to have you back in the stream. We very well could have a pine marten in the water still. I wasn't sure if that had been 100% confirmed yet, AJ. I know that when it comes to the Haggis, there's like next to no actual information, but we'd been wanting to do a mission run with for a stream to get some missions done, so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. This leads us around the map. I do know about the Benel Hag, and so I do have the Benel Hag in my inventory. But we're still going to run through the missions because it seems like they may have some sort of correlation. I didn't see any martins on the water, or mink. I guess they would have been minks along the way. Alright, visit the main lodge. Must be time for Haggis. Yum yum.
Right, hope you liked your haggis. I'm Isla, the gamekeeper here at Tornasheen. I trust you're brought to pop his podcast on when you need to. I'll be about to keep you in the real world. Suits me. I can do some actual work while Roderick's on one. Anyway, next step's the tour, so tune into episode 2 whenever you fancy and give me a shout when you're done.
Designing a website doesn't have to be a myth with Circle Junkie, who are the sponsors of today's episode. The haggis is an elusive and wily beast, hunted for its tasty flesh and thrilling chase. Even the finest tracker can head home empty-handed. However, you have the very best in the business. Available wherever good podcasts are found. First things first, you'll need a lure, cheese, chips, and curry sauce. Or a bagpipe cola should do the trick.
I'm gonna try to not talk over any in-game audio and stuff like that comes on throughout the missions. So if I disappear, that's why. But Leon, right now I'm kind of split on my great ones that I'm focused on. Like wolf and whitetail are the big ones that the only ones that I'm grinding for right now. Good job, AJ, on the albino. Well, there you go, Leon. It's tough to get the rares to spawn. Interesting. Okay, AJ. I was not aware of that. Probably is what makes it so difficult to find. Alright. Yeah, the RNG is definitely crazy. That's for sure. But that's also what makes it so interesting. I mean, it makes sense that there is. Even for a cryptid like that. Yeah, I mean, like, my mule deer grind was just under 600 kills to get my great one. And my wolf grind is already over 700, but... Hey, exactly, Jay. Can't have it too easy. Still gotta have something worth working for. Nice, AJ. Red fox fleeing over there. Yeah. I'm trying to get there, Leon. Yeah, 3 subs away is closer to 500 than I ever anticipated to be, though. Oh, nice. A big winter storm, AJ. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy some snow. And not, like, too much snow that it's a complete pain to deal with. Our weather's just been getting cold here. It hasn't been too terrible. Haven't had any snow or anything like that. Where did that... We'll just keep on running up and around. Ooh, nice, AJ. I mean, I'm glad to an extent that it's, you know, super difficult to get a great one, because it makes it so much more satisfying when you do finally get it. That it's, you know, it's not like you can just go and get a great one anytime. I mean, if you really put your mind to it, a diamond's going to spawn roughly every 100 kills. You could get a diamond just about every day if you really tried. But great ones take a little bit more. I don't know if we hit. Nope, we didn't. Or did we? No, we didn't. There we go. Rolled that guy, oh, gal, over. Yeah, red fox would be a tough one just because you have to take out the pairs. If you don't get the pairs, you don't get the respawns. I mean, with the exception of the 1500, those are some pretty crazy grinds, Leon. Alright, got that guy. Oh, about 500. So you just gonna keep grinding out Just keep grinding fallow, or are you going to switch it up and go after a different great one? Ah, the bagpipes.
Beautiful. Now that's the sound of rebellion. Haggises love that noise, so I'm sure one will appear any second now. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Well, better go have a look.
Alright, well, let's go see what we got down here. Oh, typical great one fallow. Okay.
Hey, Bill. You're saying you found Haggis tracks? No harm in following them, I guess. Wait until Roderick hears about this.
Oh, man. Following Haggis tracks. Spirit great one. That's pretty cool.
Okay. And now you've seen the thing, let's have a look-see.
Oh, man.
No movement. Put a bullet in it.
Guess we'll go with the shotgun. Just for fun. Oh, homie went flying.
Well, I'm not so sure the haggis you shot will taste so good. Still, there's more where that came from.
Yeah. Got a haggis of some sort. Just not the real haggis. Just the mission variation.
Hello, pal. Hikers have been telling me there's a din coming from Piper's Pit. Ach, it's probably nothing, but I'd appreciate if you could get a look. And because I'm contractually obliged to mention it, your man has a podcast episode on it too. Cheers.
The Phantom Piper of Tor na Shean is a tragic tale of times gone by. A lone child trapped in the dark, plotting the way for a horde of men above ground, alone for all eternity. Some say when the night is still, you can hear a wobbling above the muir. Little Rabbi, loyally performing his duty in the next life, a service for those who have long since given up on him.
Alright, pal. Didn't mean to remind you, but your haggis hunt didn't go so well the first time. I would say it happens to the best of us, but I've never heard of it happening to anyone else. Anyway, thought it might help if we went through making bait for the haggis. Now, you might not know this, but the wild haggis is a carnivore. Loves eating deer, their natural prey in fact, so let's get ourselves some of that.
Alright, up here is the next portion of the story mission. Travel to the Piper's Pit, which we've already looked at earlier, but...
Well, here's the hole. Be quiet a second so I can listen. Here, piping. Let's have a look around the hole, eh?
Can't jump in the hole. That is a bummer. Alright. Keep calm. I'm Scottish.
I know that key ring. That's Al Tams down the pub. I'll give him a ring.
Oh,
Alright,
man.
big man. Was good.
All right, Isla.
Are you down a hole by any chance?
Yeah, Rory's sick of me.
Aye, well, nah. Just letting you know we got your key ring. We'll chuck it down.
Oh, aye. I wondered where that had gone.
See you down the hounds.
Cheers now.
Alright, bye. Chuck down the keyring for the good man, if you please. Well, fancy that. Was just all damned doing his pipes down the hole because his lad had it up to here. There's that mystery solved then. No beasties this time.
Alright. Time to read the bones.
Alright, pal. Hope you bro. Good job on the whole stuff and that. Anyway, shepherds on the estate have come to me complaining saying their sheep are going missing. Now, I don't have a Scooby. Only a handful of wildcats around, and unless the badgers are on the gear, it is no them. I haven't a Scooby as it stands, so reckon you could take a look. Oh, and of course wee Jobby has his own notions and a podcast on the matter. Says it's a catchy. Ach, he's a bawbag, but I don't hate the way he looks at the world. Leaves room for people like you and me to do the hunting. So, let's try luring this beastie with a deer or something, and while we do that, get to the bottom of this properly.
Alright, let's see. What is this next mission? Harvest any animal for bait. Alright. Well, there's an animal right there we can use for bait. Maybe. He pops back up the other side. There he is. Oh, we must have shot him in the head. I didn't think we did, but oh well. I have definitely heard that fox sucks to grind. I'm kinda... Yeah, oh yeah, we got him pretty good. Yeah, fox, pheasant, and tar are ones that I'd really like a great one of, but really don't want to do the grind for. Nice. Managed to save the harvest check since we just shot him in the neck.
Alright, now shove a GPS in the meat and pop it where the sheep went missing. Can check your boy's podcast if you feel like it.
Although the Scottish wildcat is rare, the kitschie is a constant threat to everyday life. A trickster fairy taking the form of a huge cat, larger even than a big dog. It causes perpetual havoc, stealing souls from the deceased before they're claimed by the gods. The antics of the kitschie force families to carry out the Fail Fatalak, rituals to distract the kitschie, such as playing games, making a racket, and watching over the body until it's buried safely.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for antlers, so if a great one species doesn't have antlers, I'm just I struggle to get into it. I'm surprised I'm as far into wolf as I am, but like I loved the mule deer grind just because of all the antlers, and that's why I'm enjoying the whitetail grind as well. That's true. I just need to have something throughout the grind to make it worthwhile for me. Fleeing mink. Goes a row. Alright, sounds good, Leon. Hopefully we will see you soon. This stream will probably be, I would have to assume, a little bit shorter than my Great One streams. So, I don't know how long we'll be on here wandering around doing missions. Yeah, Jay, that would look awesome. I definitely agree. Some of the Great One variations that you can put in with multi-mounts are awesome. Like, I have my Great One mule deer with 2 rare mule deer does. I think one's a piebald and one's a leucistic. But it can definitely be a cool combo. Don't know why she decided to hang out, but it was a mistake on her end. After we search for sheep remains here, we'll probably continue on down to just take a peek at this lake. We haven't pulled any drink zones there, so maybe we'll find something. Alright, sheep remains. Those look like sheep remains. Got pretty good curl on that ram, though.
Well, while the cat takes the bait or not, have a little look around for some clues.
Alright, look for clues.
Those look like bird droppings. Not sure what kind from the photo, but they're big, so we're looking for something even bigger. Yeah, keep at it.
Alright, this way. $140 to $190. Don't see that black grouse anywhere. Which is fine. I think we've got there. Yep, ducks on the ground.
Here's
At
a
least
special
a duck.
challenge for you. Harvest 4 of each of our signature birds. Normally, we call the start of the grouse season the glorious 12th. Here, you're going for a glorious 12.
Now let's go ahead and pop that guy. Yeah, not likely to hit that one, but okay.
Tire tracks, eh? Heavy duty ones too. Could have made off with a wee lamb or just for a drive. I'll look into it. Alright, good work. We have some leads. Now, back to check the bait.
That would be pretty cool. I've always dabbled with the idea of having a jackalope added to the game. That we can have a jackrabbit with antlers. And now with the haggis, we're not too far off from possibly having that.
That bugger's hoofed it. Follow that GPS.
I don't know where that black grouse is. Oh, way up in the air. We'll come down here, pick up that bird that we shot, and then head on out over there. Miles way out there. Be a little bit of a jaunt. I don't even know what diamond was for these guys. Right through the skull and jaw. 800 scoring gold, so you know, not terrible. Still about a little over 100 off a diamond. That would be pretty crazy, Jay. That would be pretty crazy. They've definitely gotten pretty creative with adding in the wild haggis. So there's no saying what they might do down the road. Pine marten, where I just, oh, there's a grouse. I think that's a little grouse too. Yeah. I think it's mostly just a food. It's the animal aspect of it, it's more like folklore. Yeah, it's like a mole. I wasn't aware that it was a real animal. I thought it was just folklore, and haggis is actually a dish of like sheep meat and other stuff like that, traditional to Scotland. Let's see. Got anything down below here? Red fox mating call down there. It's a female, but where there's one, there's the other. Yeah, they look pretty interesting in the game. Hopefully we can put eyes on one eventually and add it to the trophy lodge. I know the really weird thing is when you place them in the trophy lodge, it turns it back to a food dish. Ah, Jay, I see what you're saying. See if we can get a better view at this. 7 to 9, so it wasn't a crazy big one. And we're getting close to the next part of the story mission, about 200 yards away. And we are in an area we've never been, so. Put 2 shots in him, but I don't know if any of them got into the vitals. Nice. Yeah, I would be interested in trying it someday. But there's a much better one. He's nervous. I wonder if I can. I should be able to get him to go alert. Oops, not with that gun. Turn. Broadside, homie. Again, hit him, but that did not seem like a good hit. We'll get on the track of that guy. He kind of ran down here and did whatever it was he was doing. But we've got a nest.
Stories of this up north. Eagles carrying off wee lambs. Well, we've been reintroducing them, and well, the livestock can't keep up. The eagles were here first, though, so I guess the sheep can do one. Makes sense that the old gods didn't suffer invaders, eh? Either way, we can let the farmers know as eagles they need to look out for. Well, all good, that'll do them. They're the size of bleeding barn doors.
Alright, here is
Alright.
the first row we shot.
Such a big help with those eagles, I could use another
a couple
favor.
of flesh shots.
See,
Nothing
I
impressive.
was in the museum up the river and nipped in the shop on the way back. Oh, the Lord was gone. Had to have a round sausage. But more, well, also importantly, I've seen this before. Some roaster is planning a barbecue, or my name is Nyla. If they date in the heather, they'll burn a whole lot more than they squarins. I'll be combing the other muir, but if you could check the ones I can't get and steal the bombs breaky, then I'd appreciate it.
Alright. Just over a mile. Yeah, we'll just walk this one out. I didn't hear this marten right up here.
Right, pal. Need you to do a bit of investigating. I've had reports of illegal pig dumping. From the shot I have, it's a mix of domestic pig, and wild boar. Interbred, ready to hit the town. Unfortunately, we
Take
have
care
to
of
hit
that
it
guy.
first. If you could inspect some drop-ins, confirm the cull and go for it,
385.
you'd be doing me a solid.
Ah, we missed. Don't even know if it was anything impressive, but decided to throw a shot at it anyways. Wouldn't mind seeing some more maybe marten or roe deer up along this stretch. Maybe even get into like some red grouse. Oh, we hit him. And then there's that one. Yeah, my shots on birds in the air is like awful. There we go. All that for a female capercaillie. Guess we'll go get her. Try to make sure I don't overdo it with the pressure at all. Ooh, nice, Jay. I need to get back out and do some more fishing too. I just got my license for the year the other day, so hopefully I should be able to get out soon. Clip the wing. I link it in with my hunting license and a bunch of tags for the year. So with all the tags and licenses, it's $250 or something like that. That gives me all the fishing and hunting licenses I need and tags for all the animals I hunt throughout the year. Plus some animals I don't hunt, but it still ends up being cheaper than buying everything individually. Plus it ends up making a lot more sense than buying like the 3-day license. because I think you only need to buy, like, where I'm at, like 2 or 3 3-day licenses, and it's the same price as the annual. $50 to $200. Yeah, well. Yeah, that is the downside. I mean, it's got quite a bit of restrictions here, but it's definitely more open in some aspects. Check these, I'm assuming badger burrows up here. Used recently. So then where are the badgers? Hopefully they didn't scurry in there. Hopefully they recently left. There is that. That's definitely a downside. That's for sure. Ooh, that's not a bad one. Where are you? I can't see you, buddy. Yeah, I definitely do have the luck in that aspect. I don't know where this guy ran to. Hopefully we'll be able to see him pop up somewhere down here. And that's a female, so I don't care. Another female roe. Female fox. All the females. And then there's that guy. Okay, so that's about... Ah! Bummer. Nice. Yeah, I enjoy fishing the coast as well. Don't do a whole lot of fishing from boats on the coast, off the coast, but casting off of like jetties and stuff for rockfish is definitely fun fishing. Rockfish and perch. Then I do a little bit of lake fishing here and there. Stuff like landlocked salmon or trout. Don't have the slightest clue where that martin went. Not a bad row. Might as well take him out. Oh, nope, there it is. See, I'd kind of really like to get that one. Not like that. Or that. Yeah. Now that row's probably long gone. Yep. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Pretty much like a jetty sort of situation. The tough thing when you're fishing in the ocean is there's a lot more, like, you know, the current jerks the line around. It'll bump other stuff, and sometimes can make it difficult to know if you actually got something on. Nope, she went the wrong way. Lucky for her. Let's see. And this was a decent little fox here. Lung, liver, stomach, took care of that. 1169 scoring gold. Yeah, very true. Especially, yeah, wind can definitely mess you up. I try to not go out if it's too windy because you can't. I mean, you can't even cast in it without throwing a 50-pound weight, and that's just not realistic. Plenty of roe deer out feeding. Get up there, complete this part of the mission. I don't even know how many story missions there are. Well, we've already completed 4. And this is, again, taking us to a new area, and at least to a lookout post we don't have. That would probably show us another outpost we don't have, maybe somewhere nearby. What do we got running through here? Alright. Didn't expect that homie to run right up past us. Level 1 female, of course. Why couldn't it have been a big one? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because the fish they'll hunker down in that area, and because then they don't have to work as hard either.
Smoke. Sounds like our culprit. Go take a closer look.
We'll survey here. Alright, well, we'll make our way down to that spot and get that outpost. Alright. Which is right at the smoke. Cool. '78's not bad. Kind of in a roundabout way the way we're going. Fox chilling out there. I don't know where that other roe deer went. So we'll just keep going where we need to go. Fleeing roe deer. There she goes. Our female roe deer luck has been great. We've pulled 2 piebalds on our own map. Just unfortunately they're females and not males. Anything out there at all worth anything? No. Gotta have something out there for it to be worth it. As we head down south, we could be getting into some, I don't know if they're herds, packs, groups, whatever you call a clump of badgers. Western capercaillie mating call. Maybe he'll be a decent sized one. Alarmed. I would have to assume there's no way we missed him. Well, maybe we did. Let's see. Oh no, we hit him. He's just still kicking for some reason. Nope, he went down. Should have just shot him with the 22, but what's the fun of that? stay on that one. That's what we want. Pick up this guy. Gold, 436, not bad. Then get back on this track. We must have like just snuck one single pellet into him. Almost down to 0 to 25. Maybe this one? Nope, still 25.50. Oh, he actually started coming back. Poor guy. 412. 2 pellets. So, yeah, not great. But we at least got him for, you know, respawns and all that. That is a diamond we do not have. We do not have a Capercaillie as a diamond. So we will keep shooting them as long as they keep giving us an opportunity. Ooh, badger mating call. 2, there's a 4. 4 with, I believe, technically diamond potential. I think they have to be 16. But I'm not sure if level 4 badgers actually have the legit chance to make it. Okay, there were badgers closer, apparently. Oh, that's brutal, Jay. Never good to have a cold. Hopefully it doesn't hang around for too awfully long, though.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I need that quenched. Let's make sure it's really out with some water. Then you worry, it's no going anywhere.
Alright, put out the fire with a single bottle of water.
Alright, we pissed on
Yeah,
our chips.
I don't buy
Now
that
we'll eat
for a
and
second.
Take nae prisoners, and they're lorning oh, bro. If you're gonna cook my breakfast in my park, there's gonna be consequences.
Now we're taking food.
Everyone has the right to roam, but the only person cleared to burn the muir is me. 'Cause I do it properly. Despite bombs like this one coming through, I actually wish Roddy cracked open the whole asylum. What's the point running the best kept private estate in the world if it's also the best kept secret? I need to work a deal with Navid in the shop though. Can't he be doing without my scratches and Lorne? Right, that's me. Later then. You know the drill. We've had hunters winding, saying the stone is whispering, spooking the deer. Well, since you've done such a good job with the other stuff, I'd appreciate if you could give this a look too.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. The struggling to breathe or shortness of breath or anything like that definitely just sucks. Makes you miserable. And Another capercaillie. Alrighty, blasted that one. It's gonna have a little bit of a time to run away, but it chose poorly. But I can't aim, so it's still doing good. Yeah, I don't know if I hit it again, but we'll see. Well, we for sure got one. Probably a female. Yep. But I know that male came back down this way, and we did put a shot on him. Yeah, that is where you're gonna have the issue. You're gonna have to tone down your excitement. No one wants to do that. Not much beats the excitement of finally getting a big fish on land. Or the heartbreak of when the big fish pops off. Yeah. Anybody fishing nearby you will be looking around trying to figure out what the heck's going on. 404, one pellet to the chin. I do want to go back up here, get this outpost. So I have the Virant 22, the Benel Hag, the Frost 257, and the Canning 300 mag, which we haven't even shot that one today. But I do carry the 22 LR for grouse or capercaillie if they're on the ground. Get this outpost. I wonder if this thermos will eat you like the others. It does. I go back and forth. I try to kind of mix up my loadout. I like the Benel Hag because it's a semi-auto 12 gauge. 22 because there's 10 rounds in there and it's lightweight. I like the 300 Magnum just because of the knockdown power, and the 257 is just so versatile. If it were based off of my real life picks, it would probably change a little bit based off of what I use in real life, but I just like mixing it up sometimes and going for the most kind of cost-effective, I guess, based on what we have available. I don't want to run that whole way, so we're going to fast travel to here. Oh, yeah. I guess that is true, they are. I definitely do prefer weapons with a wood stock as opposed to a synthetic, but like my hunting rifle has a synthetic stock. Well, one of my hunting rifles has a synthetic stock, and the other two are wooden stocks. I just think the wood finish looks so much better. Get some mink down here running through. I have a 6.5 Creedmoor. I have a 270 and I have a 30-30 for hunting rifles. Pop down on the river, see if there's anything hanging around. Yeah, so my 6.5 Creedmoor is my synthetic stock. My 270 Winchester is wood stock, and my 30-30 Winchester is wood stock as well. And the 30-30 is a lever action, the other two are bolt action. And they're all three of those are great guns. Seeing really anything along the river. Which is fine, we're on our way to do this mission, so I just would like to try to take some stuff out kind of along the way. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I definitely see some red flags popping up doing that, though. And then I don't have a 270 anymore, so that's not gonna fly. I've used the 270 to try to target deer. And then I use my 6.5 for elk. I use a 30-30 for deer as well. I also take my 6.5 for deer hunting. Just kind of depends on the mood I'm in for that day for deer hunting.
In the grasp of the whispering stone, the half-light flickers and sputters. Where the worlds come close and travelers find themselves trapped. Those begging to hear the voice of the one they love can cup their ear to the rock and listen a while. But whose parting words they hear is a mystery. Indeed, it could be better to hear nothing at all.
Right, let's have a look. Hey, while I do, reckon you could do me a solid? Brush away the moss on the stone there and snap a photo. The website could do with a wee spit and shine, looking like teletext the new, if you mind that. Right, everything looks in order. People have been saying that the deer have been acting a bit funny though, so we'll check out a few in the wild and all.
I haven't thought about putting anything on the 270. The 270 is actually an older rifle that was my grandpa's, so
Well, you're a hunter, right?
I would be a little
No
torn on
scientist,
doing
so
anything
good
like
for
that.
hunting.
But I have thought of like etching for each harvest, putting a little hash mark on the stock or something. Go. So far, I haven't gotten a whole lot of animals. I have 2 elk that I've taken, and hopefully eventually I'll get them hanging on the wall.
Okay, now. There should be whispering from the stone. Not expecting much, mind, but at least you found a nice deer. Oh, you hear that? Oh, where's that coming from? It was some headphones and... God, sounds like Roddy's podcast. No wonder they left them behind. It's either that or cheering your ears off. But I think the real myth here was that someone was listening to the Rodcast. No offence, Bill. Well, that's me. Cheers, now. Hey, pal. This one's serious. family
That would be
hikers
an
have
interesting
reported
way
their
to do
child
it.
missing. We've got everyone combing the grounds, but given the circumstances, the more hands on deck, the better.
Yeah,
I'll send
definitely
through
could be a
whistle
good
and blast.
touch.
Ring me as soon as you know something.
That's for sure. That would be
Reported it to
cool.
Roddy. He insists it's an Irk-ushka. A shape-shifting horse monster. Keep an eye out for one of those. In the meantime, we're looking for a child. You know what they look like.
Do you do any
Like a
hunting,
person,
Jay, or are you just a
smaller and more
fisher?
stupid. Yeah, that's the one.
Not sure what the hunting regulations are in the UK. Well, that is a bummer that you're not able to do any. But well, keep it on the bucket list. You might be able to one of these days. It's a really cool experience, though. Especially once you get way out into the wilderness and you're out walking in areas that who knows, there might not have ever been any people at. Widgeon overhead. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Not going back for a male woodcock. If it was a female, I might, but... Ah, that would be living the dream, Jay. That's the dream.
The Uske is the most dangerous and vicious of all water horses. A shapeshifter, assuming the form of a pony, a horse, or a handsome man. Begging stragglers to hold its hand or mount its back, lulling them in with dreamlike fantasy. Then water comes into view. Instantly their skin jolts awake, crackling into an adhesive that binds them together forever. Pulling them down, deep down, into the open arms of the loch.
Yeah, it would be nice. Grizzlies not welcome, but wolves maybe. Oh man, I don't know. I kind of think I would take a grizzly over a pack of wolves. But either one would definitely be, it would make things interesting. Don't know where that guy is at. Oh, here it is. We found Nessie.
Finally, some good news. That's our best lead yet. Keep at it.
And then
Well,
human tracks.
Those footprints look too small to be an adult's. Follow them.
That's true. Either way, you're not gonna have a great time. Let's see about this. Can't hear him now. Is he coming right over here? Oh, we did get it. Nice. I don't know which shot it was that got her, but level 1 silver, and I have never seen something truly scared to death. Show me where we hit that woodcock. Straight up scared to death. Nice. Yeah, I've seen videos of like bears fighting each other, and it is the wildest thing. They do not hold back whatsoever. Yeah, them or like Kodiak brown bears up in Alaska. they're mean and they get big. They might. It would definitely be interesting one way or another. Alright, I wonder if we can... Might be able to see him if we come up this way a little bit. We got a really nice piebald fallow deer the other day playing this map on multiplayer. Yeah, I mean, they will just rip you to shreds, and it's one swipe of the paw, and then you are a hurting unit. That one's not bad. Decent 4. Oh, he's spooked now. I almost wish I knew what they were doing there. They were probably eating or something. Yeah, just pain. Lots and lots of pain. Just trotting away down there. Maybe they'll slow down, we can put a shot on that bigger one. Depending on where this trail keeps leading us. Another mating call up there. I don't know how much more calm they are, because then you have, you know, a pack of wolves. You got 4, 5, 6 wolves taking turns fighting over you. They can definitely cause a mess. Yeah, exactly. Would you rather a bear just swipe you quick and you're out, or be turned into a chew toy?
Looks like they lead here. Any idea where they go next? Out towards the castle, you say? I'll get Roderick to take a look. Hold tight.
Hi, mate. Isla gave me your number. Told me you were a fan of the broadcast. Sure enough, I went for a look around the castle and found the way in, which is all thanks to you. Crisis over. It seems they were curious about the castle and wanted to come and have a look. They loved my Kelpie stories. Didn't even want to go home when their parents arrived. I think I'll invite their whole school up to the castle. If there's just one who's as interested, well, that'd be some use for these old walls, eh? Think I could use that. So, yeah, sterling work today, mate. Pats on the back all round. What?
Hey, pal. Isla here. Me and the boss can't thank you enough. First it's Wayne's, soon I can see all kinds modern in here. God, it's a wet dream come true. Maybe should let Roddy do the talking, he'd like that. Anyway, as a little treat, you can get to the bottom of this photo that's been doing the rounds online.
I love the comparison there. Red Riding Hood and Mowgli. I don't know. Mowgli was like best friends with the bear. So I'm not totally opposed to being friends with the bear, as long as, you know, we have a mutual understanding that he's not going to eat me. The issues arise when he decides he wants to eat me. Yeah, a little far back. Or runs out of... Exactly, yeah. Yeah, no excuse for any reason for them to eat me. $60. Well, 60 to 80. Ooh, there we go. Hopefully we can kick this one up. Got her. I want to say 40 was diamond. Oh, 41 was diamond, so it didn't really have a chance. But that was a nice gold. One pellet to the wing. Exactly, yeah. Once he runs out of honey, just quickly throw a jar down and run as fast as you can. Oh, let's go up to this lake, this outpost, and just take a look at this lake, see what we see up there real quick. Very true, very true. Get a little sugar rush going, that way you can keep up the energy. Level 6 red deer. Red deer hinds. Red deer stag. Sika. They should be just finishing up drinking. Might come back and shoot this stag. If it's still around. It's a good one. I've got a couple of diamonds and a couple of rares of them. They're definitely fun ones. And plus that gives us... Oh no, we still can't even use the 300. There's nothing we can use the 300 for here. Alright, let's see. We'll go ahead and do this guy. He might not go down. Let's try this one. Well, I don't know if either of the... Oh, he's going to go down. Okay. So we must have snuck it into something on this guy, because the other guy is not being as cooperative.
Ah, you're just showing off.
And based on that, I'm assuming a side mission. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Jay? What real-life methods are you referring to? Really wish I could see this stag and see what he is. Dinky 4. Welcome back, Leon. Oh yeah, I do some of the times. Kind of depends on the situation, Jay. I don't use collars a whole often. Seems like most of the time I do like a spot and stock method. Yeah, what's the request? Just barely poke that into the front of the lung.
It's the offal we need. You can use sheep, cow, pig and all. If it's entrails, we're in there. We'll also be needing neeps and tatties. God, that's sweet. And potatoes for the outlanders.
give a little narrative. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do... Let's go... What do I want to do? If I go here, I bet I could get red deer up at this lake. I'm gonna move around, change my loadout, and we'll get a quick IRL scenario. So we'll get rid of the 300. We'll go with the 270. Throw... Oh. Maybe I don't have the red deer collar. We won't use the red deer collar because honestly I don't use that in a real life situation anyways. So let's get rid of the 257. We'll keep the other two in there. I won't use them, but just because I'm lazy. Oh, I went too far. We'll get the 10mm handgun because I carry a sidearm when I hunt. And it's similar style to the 10mm. All right, go ahead and change the time to, let's see, what time do red deer drink at? I think they drink at like 6 or something. So we'll change it to 6. We'll change it to, yeah, we'll change it to 6. Oh, that's brutal, Leon. Alright, so then we'll fast travel over here, and then I want to get up to this lake. So, when I hunt in real life, I go after, specifically, most of the time, elk, which are going to have big racks similar to red deer. Take off in the morning. My loadout consists of a rifle. Today we do have the 270, which is a rifle I've used for deer, not for elk. I always carry a sidearm with me, generally a 9mm. 10mm will have to do. And then I have a rangefinder and I have binoculars. For this, we'll utilize both the rangefinder binoculars combined to kind of give the comparison. And then I do use scent eliminator detergent on my camo, so it kind of helps block the scent. When I hunt, I don't traditionally do a call or anything like that. I don't sit in a stand. This is what I do. I I walk around the woods and am constantly glassing areas, finding high grounds, points of, viewpoints where I can see across ridges or down into draws or towards places where it would be common that they would be. So we just kind of peer around. I would have thought there would have been a red deer up at this lake. But apparently not. I know I have red deer somewhere. But just so we'll look around, and then if there's nothing in the spot, then I pretty quickly move on to the next spot. I don't linger around a whole lot. I don't do a whole lot of sitting and waiting unless I see something or have a reason to sit and wait. So, without seeing anything here and not seeing any reason to sit and wait other than those ducks, we'll take a look and just see what those ducks are, just because if I can pop a random diamond, I will. There's a ton of them. Duck hunting is also not something I ever do in real life or in the game, to be honest. Yeah, all of these ducks look like plain Jane. So, nothing here that would keep me in the area. I'm just going to move pretty much right on to the next spot. So, we'll come down here. Let's see if we see anything. Pretty sure this is when red deer drink. I'm gonna double check and make sure I'm not completely stupid, but red deer start drinking at 6, so they should be making their way into their zones. Which, there is one right there. So, I've now spotted something that is, in my real life situation, I would take a shot at that range. My first elk I shot at 250 yards. I've shot before on target up to 500 yards. But for the sake of this, we're gonna utilize the spot and stalk method that I do use in real life and try to get in a little bit closer. This is also a smaller red deer. I definitely would like something bigger, so we may also pass on him or watch and kind of hang around, see if anything else shows up. One of the things I've always thought when I've been hunting is don't pass on something the first day you wouldn't take on the last day. And so, while I wouldn't pass on him on the last day, we'll probably pass on him here. He's in with at about 100 yards. Wind is not good. That's something I try to pay attention to when I'm out in the woods. Yeah, so he's gonna spook out, which is fine. When I am hunting, I definitely constantly am throwing or dropping little blades of grass or crumbling up dirt into dust so I can utilize that to try to get my wind direction. The game fortunately helps us with the cone, but we'll kind of wrap around this area and maybe come up around here and see if we can see anything else. As I said, they should just be kind of starting to get into their zones. And just like the game in real life, I hunt zones as well. You know, you can catch them drinking, feeding, or resting, or anywhere in between. With the hunter, most of the time, you know, you hunt drink zones. When it comes to me in real life, I actually most of the time would be hunting like feed locations. It's when they're most out in the open. Again, we're looking at vantage points, so I see up here where there's a little bit of a hill. It's definitely worth it to get up a little bit higher, get a better view. Always paying attention to the sounds that you hear around, because you never know when that might alert to something else. I have heard of it and I've used it before. I find it just as easy to drop a couple blades of grass or something and get it taken care of that way. So now in a real life scenario, I would be more willing to stay in this location since we did see that one red deer. I would be intrigued to see if there are more hiding around somewhere else, maybe some behind them, but just constantly glassing every area. Always looking for different shapes, different colors, movement, anything that's out of the ordinary and doesn't look like a blade of grass or a log or a stump or a rock. So now we've got more over there. So they're out significantly further than the last herd. So now what I would do is I would get to a point of cover and vantage. Somewhere like in here, where I'm harder to see, but they're easier to see. And then we would just look around. And when it comes down to it, you want to shoot the biggest trophy you can. Not always is that going to be like a big trophy, but you always kind of want to look around and see what your options are. So we do have a 5. That's a 4. No, another 5. So they were walking towards another area. So now I would work to try to figure out my best course of action to get in close to them. I don't have a great wind with me, but doesn't mean we can't do anything with it. Look around to see if there's anything else in the area, because sometimes you'll have herds that kind of split up. Or you'll have, different bulls, or in this case stags, that come in a little later. So there's that one. We've still got hinds rolling in. I think that's the other stag. Nope, that's a hind. So now I've lost the other stag. Oh, well there we see something. We saw the shake in the brush, and that is now our new target. Nice solid red stag. That's why it's important to keep looking around. So now we have lots of females in this mix, which can cause an issue because, especially with, like, in real life when I'm hunting elk, you have what's called satellite cows, or not satellite, sentry cows. And they sit out on the edge and they watch for any threat. And then when they see a threat, they alert the herd, and then the entire herd is gone. So that would be, like in this situation, like that one gives off sentry cow vibes. It's looking the opposite direction of everybody else. It's not down at the water drinking. Now, they don't actually have sentry cows in this game, but that's essentially what it would be. Now the wind is shifting to a little bit more of a favorable position for us. So we know that we can get in a little bit closer. I'm going to want to put myself in a better position to the left a little bit, because we don't want to take a frontal shot if we don't have to. So my point, I mean, those hinds are a little bit close, within 200 yards. If we had a broadside angle, this is when we would consider taking a shot, probably anything within 200 yards. But we're going to aim to get up on this hillside a little bit, get a little bit higher than them, and hopefully get a good angle without spooking or alerting anyone. This whole time while moving, we do our best to keep an eye on the herd if we can. It's not always an option, but when it is, it's best to keep tabs on them. This is where generally I'm hunting with a group, to where I would have somebody like up on that hillside there. Well, that's way far away, but maybe like up there where that rabbit is. And they would be looking down on the herd and saying, okay, they're still hanging out, or if for some reason they catch wind of me or sight of me, they would be able to tell me, like, hey, you either need to stop and let them calm down, or you need to move in now and take a shot while you can. So as we come up around here, herd should be just straight over this rock or so. I see a couple of hinds down right there, and the small stag. And there's the big stag right there. So, by the looks of it, still pretty calm. We're going to keep rotating around a little bit more. And then now that I'm in this position where I have the right angle, in any situation I like to take a shot from a prone. It's just a lot easier. So you can see I put myself in a perfect position with the wind. The wind is blowing straight at me, so they're not even getting the slightest smell of me. He's right down in there. We'll try to swing up a little bit. keeping in mind that we don't necessarily know where all of the cows or hinds are. So it's tough to get into a position without spooking everything. So we got a movement, still calm. We got a little bit of brush between me and our target stag. So I'm going to want to swing a little bit more left. There's that hind all out by herself. You know, that's pretty close. So we want to keep tabs on that. But we want to get a nice little window, if at all possible, to where we can shoot between brush without hitting brush. Get a little bit closer. So there's a pretty good window right there of opportunity. We want to do our best to utilize our range. I do carry a rangefinder. They're not rangefinder binoculars. I alternate back and forth between my rangefinder and my binos. But I would range that and see, okay, he's 84 yards. Right where I want him. Adjust my holdover. I do use a high-powered scope. For a shot like this, I probably wouldn't zoom in all the way. Maybe one notch. Typically like this, you want to aim right behind the shoulder, but because of the angle, we're actually going to want to aim right in front of that shoulder. And then hold the breath, and there we go. Put a shot on him. Immediately rack another shell in case we need to put a second shot on him. Obviously not taking it on the run if we don't have to. Popping up, getting on binoculars, seeing if we can see anything. And he ran into the brush, and then we lost him. So now is when we would come up here. You know, we'd want to be constantly keeping an eye around, seeing if we see anything. See if we see him go down, which I don't see him down anywhere. So we would then utilize blood tracking while still keeping tabs of other animals. There's tricks you can use to see if it's a good hit. Obviously, the more blood, the better. And then we know he took off this way. It's not like archery hunting where I typically wait very long. If I feel confident on that shot and at that kind of range, I would feel confident with. We would go. I would definitely reload my rifle right away. Make sure I have as many rounds at my disposal if needed. And then just follow the blood. Hopefully get to him at a quick time. That way you can start doing the rest of the stuff that needs to be done as quickly as possible. And here he lays. I would definitely approach from this way. I would give him a couple pokes, make sure he doesn't get up. And then the work would start, after a couple pictures, of course. But there you can see we did make a good shot. Went through the shoulder blade and leg, which is not completely what we were after. We're looking to hopefully miss as many bones. I could have went back a little bit more. But you're going to have very minimal meat loss from that. It's a good clean shoot. And that right there is my demonstration of a realistic hunt and how I would actually do it, how I would utilize things, and how I would go about being successful. I also wouldn't be opposed to, keeping my distance a little bit. getting within 100 yards is tough. But definitely not impossible. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Trim it down for a super realistic hunt. Definitely. But I do think that's probably where we're gonna wrap up this stream. I got some editing to do, not from this clip, but from some content that I filmed last night. So hopefully get that video posted this afternoon or evening. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stuff, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hopefully we will see you in the next one. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Smash the sub, smash the like. Helps out a ton. But thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.